Hello and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to have a continuation video for our discussion on the mapping portion for Africa. So, we're now going to start with the countries in the Gulf of Guinea. So, this is basically the Gulf of Guinea in the Atlantic Ocean. So, this is important because it has rich oil reserves and also because of piracy reasons. So, this is a major drawback as well. Even though it is good in the oil reserves, it has a major drawback in piracy. Anyways, going to the countries. The countries in the Gulf of Guinea are first is Angola, then DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. So you might think that DRC does not have its coast, but over here you could see that there is a little smaller portion over here which belongs to DRC, and thus DRC has its coast in the Atlantic Ocean, or we could say in the Gulf of Guinea. Then this is the Republic of Congo or just Congo. Then we have the country of Gabon. This is Equatorial Guinea. Then Cameroon. If you have been a fan of Never Have I Ever, then you would actually understand what Equatorial Guinea was. There was an episode in which there was a Model United Nations theme whereby Equatorial Guinea was one of like delegate, and that's a fun episode to watch. Anyways, moving on. This is the country of Cameroon, which I said. This is Nigeria, and Nigeria, this is the Niger Delta. Then comes the country of Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire. These two countries were basically mentioned in the prelims 2024, whereby the cocoa from these countries was a part of the question. Then comes the country of Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, uh, Gambia, and Senegal. So these are the countries which are a part of the Gulf of Guinea from over here. So moving on to the individual characteristics. So DRC or the Democratic Republic of Congo is rich in cobalt and copper. It also has a rainforest, and it is in news because Goma, a place in DRC, is captured by Rwanda-backed militants, which are called the M23 militia. So these are basically Rwanda-backed. Then comes the country of Congo. Congo is famous for the Brazzaville Declaration, which was on the conservation of peatlands. Then is the country of Nigeria. Nigeria is in news because there was a dam collapse over there. So as you all might know that there is this African Rift Valley right over here. So the landlocked countries which are a part of the African Rift Valley are Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and Malawi. So Rwanda is known for the Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol, which basically is reducing ozone depleting substances and HFC, which is hydrofluorocarbons. So in Africa, these are the major basins, which is Joff Basin, Chad, Sudan, Congo, and Kalahari. So moving to Rhodesia, Rhodesia is basically separated by the Zambezi River. This is a map depicting the Zambezi River and the division it causes. So this is basically the Zambezi River, and it is forms a border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is basically in news recently for the currency which it has introduced with this ZiG. This ZiG currency is basically a gold-backed currency. So Lake Kariba over here, which is on the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe, is the largest man-made lake. So it is in the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe, and it is the largest man-made lake. Recently, it is in news because of the droughts. Also, there are many hydropower projects going on in this region, and since there is an advent of droughts over here, there is electricity shortage in both the countries, which is Zambia and Zimbabwe. Also, there is a watery point near to this Zambezi River, where four countries meet, which are the nations of Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia, and Zambia. This is the quartering point over here where Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia meet. This is also on the Zambezi River. And then coming on to the Sahel region. Sahel region is basically a semi-arid region. This, as we all know, is the Sahara Desert, which is totally arid. Just to the south of Sahara is the Sahel region. So it is in the news because if we try to protect the biodiversity and the vegetation in the Sahara region, this would help us in checking the expansion of the Sahara Desert. Like if we try to protect the Sahel region, this would help us in checking the expansion of the Sahara Desert, which is expanding due to the climate change and other factors related to it. So this is the Sahel region, and in order to protect this, there is a Great Green Wall initiative going on, which is to basically combat the desertification. Since this is the desert region, in order to check the expansion of this desert, this green Great Green Wall initiative is going on. So in Sahel regions, the country which are there is Mauritania, Mali, Niger, parts of Chad, and parts of Sudan and Eritrea. So this is a pictorial representation of the Great Green Wall initiative. So in order to check the expansion of the Sahara Desert, we are actually focusing on planting more or combating the desertification of this Sahel region. So these are the countries: Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, Sudan, Eritrea, and it is also showing parts of Djibouti and Ethiopia as well as Senegal. So these countries are in news from Sahel region because there have been some ethnic conflicts in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. So this country is also a part of the Great Green Wall Initiative. Mali over here, in this country particularly, media is banned from reporting about politics. So you could see the condition of the people over there. But anyways, moving on. Other places in Africa which are in news are Al Fashaga in Sudan, near the border of Ethiopia and Eritrea. So it is in Sudan, near the border of Ethiopia and Eritrea, somewhere over here. It is Al Fashaga. Then comes Amhara in Ethiopia because of the recent conflicts. Other places in Tigray which are also in news. Other places in Ethiopia which are also in news is Tigray. Then Oromia region, which is bordering Somalia. Cairo. So Cairo is basically the capital of Egypt. So Cairo call to action, which is the outcome of the World Urban Forum's 2024 for Sustainable Urbanization. So the Cairo call to action corresponds to the Sustainable Urbanization theme, which is an outcome of the World Urban Forum's 2024. Then Somalia. In Somalia, UNSC has authorized peacekeeping mission. So these peacekeepers are basically called as the blue helmets, and India is a major contributor to these blue helmets. So in Somalia, UNSC has authorized the peacekeeping mission. Next comes the Arab League. Arab League is basically uh, an association of nations from Africa as well as West Asia. So these are the countries, this region basically, and it is official. It is a news because they have officially recognized Palestine. Also, the UNGA has also admitted a resolution in which they are now accepting Palestine as a party which can also enter into USA, which can also enter into the UNs. So one anomaly which you should notice over here is, although the countries right over here, these are very contingent in respect or in terms of their borders, like they are very near to each other. But Comoros Islands, which is very south, is also a part of the Arab League. So the countries which are a part of the Arab League from Africa are Morocco, Mauritania, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, Sudan, Djibouti, and Somalia. So you would notice that Eritrea and Ethiopia, these are not the members. So from West Asia, the countries which are member are Lebanon, Palestine. So they are actually recognizing Palestine, as we have read earlier. So Palestine, they are saying as the member. Then Syria, Iraq, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait. So let me know the country which was over here. I hope you would now notice it by now. So I'll see you guys in the next video where we discuss more about the mapping portion for the other continents. And till then, see ya, bye, and all the best for the upcoming examinations.